Hi Leo, and welcome to your reading. This is a reading for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Mars for December 2021. This reading can also be accurate for any other time you find this reading or this reading finds you. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If this can help you at any other time, then why not take it? All right, so let's look at your cards. The cards are already out because I did this on my German channel earlier. And in the beginning of the reading, I look at general energies. In the second part of the reading, I will look at love and relationship dynamics. Can also be a relationship with a close one. Doesn't have to be romantic love, but I look at a dynamic that might play out a little complicated for you. So let's see what we have here. We have an eventful month also astrologically speaking. We do have the new moon solar eclipse, we do have the full moon in Gemini, but it's the second eclipse of this cycle, so we already had the full moon in Taurus, and the eclipses bring really intense, more sudden changes maybe, or more intense transformations that might feel a little more sudden, as I said, and the transitions are not that smooth maybe, but it really gets rid of the stuff that we have held on to or clinged on to, and really gives us a chance to finally start anew, where we feel like a change is due. And it's often very relieving energy. And also we have what I like this month, a lot of Pisces action going on. There is Neptune moving direct in Pisces, and Jupiter is also moving into Pisces. So our dreams and visions and hopes for the future will really be underlined, and there is really positive energy coming into the area of also our dreams, our fantasy, our sense of self, and also letting go of the ego that stands in the way. That's also 12th house in Pisces, that stands in the way of fulfilling our dreams. So yeah, that's the major ones. Also we have Venus going retrograde, which is also a major one, so love and love interests from the past can definitely come back. And we have Venus moving retrograde in Capricorn, and Capricorn is here with the Devil card. So in your case, there is a big emphasis on love, I think, and the topic of relationships when it comes to how dependent am I on a situation and how much is it my fault and how do I handle that kind of situation. This month I see you might have a little bit of difficulty not blaming yourself too much. With the Nine of Swords, there is a strong energy of you attacking yourself. So I want to make sure in the beginning of the month that you make yourself aware that it takes two to tango. There is not just one person responsible for things. Also, if you feel like a person hasn't been treating you well, or an environment, or you got into a situation that was very disappointing or hurtful, it's not a good strategy right now for you to even beat yourself up more. You know, don't be that person, don't be that friend to yourself that when you're on the ground that you're kicking the people on the ground. Don't do that to yourself, is what the Nine of Swords is also suggesting, because this is that can be a very cruel energy that we are bringing towards ourselves. In the Rider-Waite deck, you know, it's this person that is sitting in the bed with a dark black background and is just worrying and burying their head in their hands. So it's important to learn here the difference between worrying and being aware, I want to say. And what's the most important here in this Nine of Swords for me is learning how to not attack yourself further and not kick yourself for being in a bad place. With the Princess of Pentacles, I see there is a change coming in your actual reality with the Princess of of Pentacles, because the Pentacles speak of actual change when it comes to our everyday. So I think you're working yourself out of this, and there might even be circumstances from the outside, maybe an offer, maybe somebody helps you, maybe somebody offers you help, maybe somebody is also offering resources or working with you on a problem or giving you something that you can work with. This can also be therapeutically even, but it's a very concrete thing. It's not just like somebody being like, hey, if you need somebody, call me. It's somebody being like, hi, I'm here, let's talk about it. Or, hey, I'm here, I have this for you, this could help you, you know. Also, I see physical stuff. Maybe it's even some medication of some sort, but of course, talk to your health professional and don't just take any medication. It can be a change in lifestyle as well. A change in lifestyle might help you also when it comes to nutrition, exercise. A change, trying out something new with the princess can really help you here feel better and be more equipped for this challenge, because I think you understand you cannot be in this mind space here to really face the problem, because the problem is much bigger than you. And I think this is what you are learning throughout the first part of the month here, because with the Nine of Swords we're kind of like, the problem is me, oh, the problem is me, oh my god, how did I get myself here, what can I do, I cannot do anything, I just want to bury myself in my bed and not get out. And it's our mind going places where we have no capacity anymore to actually use our mind in a healthy way, but the mind is still going, you know, you can't stop it. So that's why it's also an anxiety card. I think you're working yourself out of this because you're starting to realize the problem is much bigger than you. It's a dynamic that presents itself that you're part of, but it's not your fault. You know, you're part of it, but that doesn't mean that you can control it, because you can't control the devil, really. That's the whole point. The devil controls you. And the devil takes over, you know, and we have the devil here. So there's something that took over, I think, or is taking over, and it's presented to you again. I don't think it's a new thing. Honestly, I think it's something that's coming back because we have the Venus retrograde in Capricorn, and I think it has to do with relationship dynamics, with love dynamics. Can also have to do with money, where you feel like you're too dependent on something, or where something controls you, or a certain goal might even control you when it comes to money. It's some outside source is controlling your thought process, thought pattern, and even your everyday life. And this can be a relationship, this can be a job, this can be a bad boss, this can be a bad family member that tries to control things. This can be a programming of your past from one of the said people, teachers, parents, sisters, siblings, relatives, that planted thought within you that it took over here and started controlling the situation without you even noticing, you know. And unlearning that, undoing that is a piece of work, but the first step is really making aware. And I think that's what is changing here, and that's what you're doing. I feel like you're making yourself more and more aware of the patterns that control you, of the people that control you, of the maybe even goals, wishes. I don't know why this is coming through so much, but maybe with the Pisces element of this month, it seems like there's even a situation for some of you where you kind of set goals for yourself that are controlling you, but they're really unhealthy actually, because it's not about actually doing what you're doing. It's more about the accomplishment itself that is really more, that is controlling you more than it's giving you things, if you know what I mean. Like you have to achieve this, otherwise it's not. But the path to achieving it is actually not even fun at all, or it's not. It's just why do I even want this? Why do I want this so bad? You know, and it's kind of controlling your life. I think there is a change here in a good direction with the Princess of Pentacles, and also the will to change, the openness to change, the openness to understand how to get results. She really is concentrating on her own coin here, and the devil is kind of standing next to her, but she's not paying attention to it. So I think she's really sensing on more like a psychic level that energy next to her, but she's not paying attention to it. I don't know how good that is. To be honest, to ignore it, you know, because maybe you kind of have to face it this month. If you know what I mean. Here we have this Princess of Pentacles, and she's looking down at her pentacle. And kind of not, I also get that maybe there is a big focus on money and on material things and wanting to grow that, and maybe not seeing how controlled you are by that material thought. Because of course the devil also stands for all that hyper-capitalist material craziness, you know, results, results, results. So it's either I get this energy that she does not see the devil coming, or she does not want to pay attention to the devil. But it's inevitable, because the devil is stronger than all these cards. It's a trump. It's a major arcana. So and that's what I meant when I said in the beginning, the problem is bigger than yourself. You know, it's not, the devil is something that takes over. You can't, it just does. It just does. And detangling yourself from that requires to address it. You know, you gotta address it. It's like the dragon. There's this child's book with this dragon that is just growing and growing and growing, and everybody's ignoring the dragon, and there is this huge dragon in the house, and there's no space in the house anymore. So I kind of get this feeling a little bit. But also I see that you do get some help with this. It's just how to work with this new resource. It's a very concrete thing. I'm talking about this coin here. You get some help, you get something of worth that you can really use to work through this. And you know, by focusing on yourself, in this case, I think it's a good thing that you're focusing on yourself here with the Four of Swords, also in relationship dynamics that we are going to talk about in a second. You have the Four of Swords here, and that says really going inwards, taking some time, resting, integrating thoughts, integrating experiences, maybe even emotionally exhausting experiences. And I think it's important that you do that you concentrate on yourself, and that you take your time, and that you rest. But you also have to be aware, I think, that just by concentrating on yourself, this problem is not going to go away. You're going to get, this is, as I said, stronger than you. And that's okay, you know, to accept that. Again, I think there is people helping you. There is definitely a chance for growth and for development and for change. And actual change is already here. I think the change that is here is that you're seeing or starting to see things for what they are. this is a very weird reading, honestly. But yeah, what can I say? Devil is here. How can we use the devil energy? I do like to also point out how can we use the devil energy for ourselves, our development, just that we have that other light side of the devil card. It is about discipline, penetration, consistency, really pushing, really taking that extra step, and that all the time. That's the devil. It's just like wearing a situation out to get results. So it's something where it makes sense to really put all your energy into getting results, and to really put all your resources, your also physical resources, mostly into getting results. It can also mean sexual pleasure. But yeah, I mean, that's something that we maybe can talk about in the relationship situation here. It can be, of course, a situation where you're very bound to a person through sexuality. There's a lot of wants here, so there's a lot of passion here, a lot of fire. This other person, it is very complicated to me, because this other person has a 6 of Wands in reverse. When I have a 6 of Wands in reverse and the Devil card in combination, this is a big marker for me for narcissistic personality, or really a disorder. It doesn't have to be, obviously, you know, but just for the people who are dealing with that kind of person, this is that kind of energy. So a person not having a great attitude towards connection, and therefore trying to control the situation. Maybe they think they're not good enough with the 6 of Wands in reverse. Maybe they just don't know how to do things in a way that this becomes more successful. Maybe they feel like, or they just have in general a negative outlook on love and relationships, like this cannot work, or why should this work, or I don't believe in love, or whatever, you know, that kind of energy. And that's very controlling in a way, because they're controlling the narrative here. So for the 4 of Swords on your side, I think something happened here. I mean, I feel like you set boundaries, very strong boundaries, sound and strong foundation with the Emperor here in the past, doing things in a way that is very solid, by the book, the way it's supposed to be, making decisions for your stability. 2 of Swords in reverse and the Emperor here, trying to be balanced, trying to be grounded, trying to think long term. We have this infinity symbol here, and she's balancing those energies. So I think you've set some boundaries, you set some rules for yourself, how to have stability and how to feel good about yourself. And that might trigger, you know, people like that. If that's the case for you, they very much triggered by boundaries, you know, because of course when you set boundaries, a person who is not respecting them is probably a person who loses some advantage if you set them, you know. I mean, that only makes sense, right? I think you're really trying to go step by step, because this is a very exhausting experience here, and I think you have to be careful about not falling into a mind space of blaming yourself for where you are, if in the moments where you don't feel good about yourself. So you're really it's really important for you to take your time to integrate, to realign, to really balance out your chakras, to meditate, to rest, to rejuvenate, and to mentally be organized. It's when you're dealing, and I know this is specific, and when you're dealing with a situation that is possibly manipulative, you have to be on your mental A game, because those people know how to poke, you know, and how to find the the little nooks where they can get into your head. And I think, but this doesn't seem like something new. This seems like something that's been going on for a while, because we have the Nine of Wands here. So the Nine of Wands speaks about a lot of experiences that we've had and that we went through. And I feel like you went through a lot of experiences with this particular person. If that's not for you, if that's not the case, then this is probably not your reading. Or it can be a person also that the same as you has a lot of experiences in the past in their love life, and therefore maybe don't have that positive attitude about it, because maybe they have not learned how to set boundaries for themselves, and therefore their attitude is more negative towards relationships in general or connections in general. But what really connects you here and what mirrors you is the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands is talking about how you have all these experiences that might have been traumatizing, maybe even, or might have left their marks, you know, but also made you a stronger person and made you that on guard warrior type person that you are, which can bring a lot of inner strength. I'm not necessarily an advocate for we all have to be warriors in love and you know, fight for everything, because that can wear somebody out really fast. I don't think love should be a fight all the time, or relationships, but you know, you are more aware of what can come towards you, and you see things more for what they are, and that's a good thing, you know, that can give you a lot of strength. So an experienced warrior is not fighting all the time, you know what I mean? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm still recovering from a cold. It's not COVID. I got tested and everything, and I'm of course vaccinated. But yeah, it's some cold that I caught. What else? What else? So I think you're doing the best you can right now. Understand that facing this, if this devil energy, this controlling, codependent, darkish patterns are something that is occurring in your life, or reoccurring, I would say, then I think it's important to understand that yes, with the right amount of work and really focus on what you put into the situation, how you want to work on the situation, and be open to methods of actually doing the dirty work, you know, yes, you can have progress with that. But understand that this is not to play with. This is not to be swept under the rug, and this is serious, you know. The devil is something I've learned in tarot really early. You don't laugh at the devil. You don't take it lightly, you know. You really look at it. Because it's going to come back and come back and come back. It's not going to go away. if you don't address it and really look at it and learn the energy and learn and study how that thing operates, how that operates within us as well. And it's fascinating work, really. It's fascinating work, because you don't want, the more you look away, the more you give this thing power, you know. So you can't ignore the devil. You just can't. You have to look at it. It's gonna be stronger than you the more you ignore it. So yeah, that's what's coming through here. We have the Astro dice as well, 11th house, we have Sagittarius, and we have Jupiter. So I think Jupiter really came out for again, emphasizing that dream in combination with the new moon in Sagittarius on the 4th, where you want to go, where is this change leading you, also emotionally with the new moon, and where you want to expand and grow your vision of what you want to build for the future. And when it comes to your stability, when it comes to your life plan and how you implement it, you know, with the earth element, with the discs, I always have this sense of what do we want to build, what results do we really want to have in a very concrete way, you know, how should that look like, and what's the bigger picture? And I think you're really concentrating on that. And trying to learn more about that. Also when it comes to money, I think. 11th house, I think maybe go into communities when it comes to meditation, higher knowledge, spirituality is coming through a lot here. Maybe more revolutionary, progressive sort of environments where you can learn more about chakra alignment, I want to say, and also the third eye chakra. Opening the third eye is really, really important here for you. Look at that Devil card. Look at what's open here. This Devil card is brilliant. That's why the Devil is actually so dangerous in a way, you know. He sees it all. He sees... He does see all the things that are not real, in a sense of you cannot touch them, you cannot feel it, because the Devil will tell you that only the things you can touch, smell, taste, sense are real. But at the same time, he sees with his third eye through all of that. But he will still tell you that only things that you can touch, smell, sense, taste are real. But he knows exactly that that's not true. Do you? You know, do you know? And that's the third eye opening here also. That comes through very strongly. Seeing things for what they are. And not seeing things for what they are appearing to be. And that's a step further into understanding the Devil energy. It's a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing, you guys. If you have Capricorn in your chart, it might be a little easier for you to understand it. Okay, so also we have by the book. I like this because it really says you don't have to invent the game again, you know. You can really work with what do we know from all kinds of things that have been proven to work in the past. So this is traditional knowledge, also doing things in a way that people, generations before us have done with good results. So we can really rely on that old knowledge and use that for us. So you don't have to now find a whole different approach. You can go with what is known to work. And this is also about learning here with the Princess of Discs. So you can really learn about maybe methods that have been proven to work and that are traditional knowledge. So traditional knowledge for you when it comes to real results, I think really does work. When it comes to your spiritual healing, in a sense of taking rest, taking time for yourself and really decompressing, then it might be interesting to go into more progressive sort of situations, you know. But when it comes to really having results and work on a problem, then work with what has been approved. So I also have these quotes from successful women, and those are quotes in German, but I will translate, and there's dates on it because it's from a calendar. So first date we have is the 8th of September. Maybe that's a date that speaks to you, that says something to you. And it says, it's a little complicated quote, I will try to translate it in a good way. The world is full of beauty and shine. As the world is full of beauty and shine, so is the biggest and the most beautiful accomplishments of humankind that they have thought and felt in thousands of books and statues and paintings and images that have been restored for their children and grandchildren. So it really, I think it really, it's supposed to encourage you to look at art, to look at old knowledge, maybe even books, literature, art, sculptures, where you can really find the shine and the beauty that might be missing a little bit for you this month, or has been missing up till now. And there is a lot of inspiration and shine and beauty to be found in centuries and centuries of good art, really. So, and it's interesting that it says it has been stored for their children and so forth. So, because this is also, Venus is about art and beauty, and it's in Capricorn. That's the devil. So again, a lot about results and product, and also artwork where a lot of work went into it. I feel like if you now want to look at art or music, it's probably very ambitious stuff that's gonna interest you or can be very inspirational to you. You know, there is artwork that is just like, you look at it and you're like, wow, how many hours, you know, where maybe it's not so much about the thought or about the innovation, but it's more like about the dedication and being just disciplined about it. That's all devil energy, and where this itself is such an inspiration that somebody can go those lengths to finish up something like that. And that's very much Capricorn and devil energy. So this can be something really inspiring for you these days. And then we have Ella Fitzgerald, who is a really great example for that earth sign, Taurus, of course. She knows how you have to put work into your craft. I mean, her voice is just, of course, a natural talent, but you can tell she was that perfect mix of work, dedication, discipline, and at the same time just a raw talent. It's just, I'm just a huge Ella Fitzgerald fan, and I think there's not a lot like her that have this mastery of what she's done. So yeah, anyway. So she says it's not really important where you're coming from, it's important where you're going. Love this, of course. Very smart, very universal, and I mean, that's that. That's that. All right, so Leo, beautiful reading, still challenging month. I know it looks like a challenge. I think you're up for the challenge. I think it's now the month for you to learn how to maybe even instrumentalize that devil energy for you. You know what I mean? In a productive way. So yeah, I think that's it. It's longer than I thought. Please like, subscribe, comment. But I'm glad that so much came through for you, and I hope that the December for you is still a joyful month and you have happy holidays. And if you want to leave a comment, I would love that. And if you want to come back next month or for the next reading, of course, I would love that as well. So all the best for you, and I'll talk to you soon, hopefully. Bye.